Nice day for a drive.
Ever wanted to drive a race machine on a track, in competition, and not even need a driver's license? It's easy when you're in control. Radio control, that is.
Before we go out, let's make a decision.
10th scale, nice. 8th scale, impressive. Quarter scale, outrageous. Radio-controlled cars, stock cars, 4x4, sprint cars, dragsters, indoors, outdoors, prize money competition, and simple Sunday afternoon grins. It's so much, and so much fun. RC model cars today can be anything from a 6-year-old play toy you chase the dog with to a chainsaw-engined monster model, running on real tracks from coast to coast or just running around in your own backyard. Just like the real automotive world of motorhead mania, the sport of RC cars runs an awesome gamut of diversity, with the people running them just as diverse. Male and female, 8 years old to 80. RC cars are what's happening for people who feel the need for speed. In all the world of RC cars, there is nothing that compares to 8th scale when it comes right down to pure performance. The speeding bees of model cars, these rapid-fire Formula One speed merchants bring together people from the 4 corners of the world and 3 different international racing organizations to contest the IFMAR World Championships. Using ultra-high RPM 2-stroke engines similar to what you'd find in a fairly large model airplane, these 8th scale screamers circuit the track fast enough to give you neck problems just watching them. Check out this particular track located at the Ranch Pit Shop in Pomona, and you'll find world-class American controllers like Gil Losi showing European and Japanese alike how it's done in Southern Cal. But if the sound of speeding bees is too much of a buzz for you, maybe you'd like something that drags a little more. Watching an 8th scale rail absolutely annihilate a scale quarter mile is just about guaranteed to make you feel like you're stuck in slow motion. How does a scale quarter mile in 2.3 seconds grab you? These hand-built howlers hit incredible levels of sophistication. Slipper clutches, nitro fuel mixtures, and aluminum chassis are run-of-the-mill. When RC wheeling wizards Jim Christensen and his buddies get together once a month to run what they brung for fun, it's a guaranteed good time. And when they compete every 3 months for bucks, well, then it's like a prelude to World War III. I'm saying these boys are serious. Christensen's car, the appropriately named King Rat, is powered by a Marine-style two-stroke, turning out only 3.5 horsepower. Jim isn't satisfied, so he'll be adding nitrous oxide injection in a couple of months. After gassing it on the competition, he'll no doubt end up laughing all the way to the bank. Ever wanted to go fast? I mean, really fast. If Daytona 500 champions were only 4 inches tall, this is where you'd find them. In the driver's seat are some of the fastest, most intensely competitive model racers ever to leave rubber on asphalt. 10th scale stock cars, like this ultra-hip Bolink Eliminator 10. Simple to construct and even simpler to control. With real coilover shock suspension, advanced aerodynamics, and wide, sticky tires, these rad replicas give high-level performance at extremely low-level bucks. While full-scale stockers use heavy steel unitized chassis, 10th scalers employ fiberglass frames and an occasional ultra-high-tech graphite piece. And judging by their thrash threshold, maybe these guys know something the big boys don't. Tough Lexan bodies molded in Porsche, Camaro, and Thunderbird styles cover rolling chassis with their own names like Predator, Dominator, and PR7. These small-scale missiles hit incredible speeds on this steep 14-degree banked oval, Lake Whippoorwill International Speedway. Located in the land of sunshine and palm trees, Orlando, Florida is home for the racetrack that set new precedents for racers and factory participation, with some mini-meets paying $50,000 in prize money. $50,000? Radical. Of course, the real stars are the cars. 10-scale RC road racing is serious stuff today, and the road to the winner's circle is paved with hot setup parts, like custom-wound motors, special wheel bearings, and high-output batteries. Radical race preparation is the only way to a first-place finish. If your car ain't gotta come race time, you ain't gonna get it come trophy time. If road racing doesn't get you up, you might want to consider getting down in the dirt. With similar chassis to their on-road relatives, these 10th scale off-road rowdies sport either 2- or 4-wheel drive, knobby tires, and a trail tackling ability only, topped by an occasional mini monster truck. Man, I'd hate to get in that kid's way. Ten-scale dirt diggers are by far the most popular RC car class in existence today, with enough mash immunity to satisfy even the most crash-crazed controller. Stemming primarily from their pint size, tracks for these diminutive dirt demons are literally everywhere, ranging from places like your own backyard crash course to mountainside rocky raceways, all the way to the radio-controlled Hobbies indoor track in Costa Mesa, California, where you can motate in some honest-to-organized competition and experience some small-scale, big-time grins. Ten-scale off-road is also the most kid-intensive class in RC wheels today, delivering the best fun for the money ratio available, with some cars carrying a sticker price of less than $100, complete with radio and batteries. See your hobby store clerk for details. Just tell him Rad Max sent you. Couch potato question. RC, does it mean radio control or remote control? And is there a difference? They both jam on similar jobs. They let you do at a distance and manage remote manipulation. After that, however, the similarity sours. Use a radio control and get ready to fly through an evening of thrash. Pick up a remote control and get ready to cry through an evening of trash. With a radio control, you can go blaze down a track. With a remote control, you can end up brain dead on your back. With a radio control, after you've had an afternoon of grins, you might just have to slow up. With a remote control, after you've had an afternoon of groans, you might just have to... Grab hold of a Kyoshi Optima and let its ultra-high-tech suspension and four-wheel drive do your dirty work on the competition. Can you say outrageous? Of course you can. Just say quarter scale RC. It's the same thing. Today's gas-powered quarter scale RC is the most. The most in size, price, and seriousness. You don't play around with quarter pounders, you commit yourself to them. And the price of admission to this part of the RC show is steep indeed. Starting retail prices for a nicely optioned out mega model can easily run to $1,500. Batteries not included. Quarter scale is also another name for upscale in half a dozen different ways. You won't see a lot of teenage activity here. Instead, the ranks are filled with people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. Folks with credit cards and an itch to do some running with a real machine. Without running a real risk of breaking bank accounts or necks in a rideable racer. Full-scale sprint cars carry a power-to-weight ratio in the same don't-point-that-thing-at-me league as a loaded F-15 fighter jet. And hot in pursuit of that truly outrageous piece of pure four-wheel performance, you'll find companies like Pacesetter, Rayco, WCM, and other monster model makers cranking out radical replicas that are scary in their motion quotient. If you're model mad enough to probe the outer limits, check into the super modified class, offering more horsepower, more speed, and just plain more fun. If your local hobby store doesn't handle these, ask him what he's got in stock. Heavier, wider, lower, and more stable than sprinters, these road ralliers are the mini mirror images of the fastest cars on today's full-scale Grand National stock car circuits. Catch a race between these monsters, and don't be surprised if the guy next to you says, "Have a nice Daytona." But what if you don't like going around in circles? What if you just want to go from point A to point B in a hurry? Why not just ride the rails? Quarter mile, quarter scale. The two go together like bread, and all the ways to spend it. Squeeze the trigger of one of these babies and you better have gunfighter reflexes, 'cause things happen fast. Quarter-scale funny cars are so real in detail, many of their working parts are made by the same manufacturers who supply the big boys. The ultimate RC power plant would have to be this modeling marvel. A 4-stroke 75cc double overhead cam Cosworth clone that wails with a fuel-injected V8 engine voice, singing a song of 9,000 RPM nitro-burning blues. The slightly more mundane movers are powered by nitroized 2-stroke engines, cranking out up to 4 horsepower. And these monster models not only replicate 3,000 horsepower full-scale joy toys in looks, they do them in the eye when it comes to relative quarter-mile performance. Judging by scale ETs, 4.5 seconds, full-size funnies and real railers couldn't eat fresh dust from these downsized draggers. RC model cars. What a grin. You know, they've been around since the 1930s. Back then, the RC and RC model racer probably meant round circle. The gas-powered cars were tethered to a pole, and they went round and round like a rabid road-going rover trying to catch its own tailpipe. Radio control is where it's at for most of us today, though. Starting in the mid to late 60s as a big bucks high-tech hobby, the first true radio-controlled model cars were the natural offspring of RC airplanes. They even used a lot of the exact same components. They were just a little more down to earth. The mid-70s brought an explosion of different scale sizes, styles, and levels of seriousness in RC cars. The magical motivator of the masses, though, were the practical prices. All of a sudden, you could hitch a radio control ride at a livable level. The rest, as it's said, is history.
Can't drink, can't drive. I'm sick of thinking how to have a good time. Can't smoke, big joke.
While a majority of today's million-plus car model enthusiasts are just in it for relaxation, the incredibly advanced RC wheels of the late 80s are so radically fun, fast, and furious, they've become the low-cost, accessible avenue for hundreds of ex-full-scale racers who still itch to compete. Because RC models are a way to crash and burn at a distance and come up smiling every time. So whether you're out there running them or just thinking about it, the wild world of radio-controlled model cars is the realistically radical way to indulge your need for speed, even if you're just standing still.
Before we go out, let's make a decision. Forget everything, let's raise a lot of living.
RC wheels. Truly outrageous.
Your key to the thrilling world of radio control cars is Radio Control Car Action Magazine. Subscribe now. Call 1-800-435-0715. In Illinois, call 1-800-892-0753 or send $25 for 12 issues to Car Action Magazine, P.O. Box 427, Mount Morris, Illinois, 61054.